This is the TSG Multimedia Podcast for April of 2023. We're sponsored this month by the TSG Train Crew on Patreon. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the longest-running train-related podcast of all time, going strong since January of 2010. I'm your host, John, and this month we have a slightly abbreviated show because the Rocky Mountain Train Show live coverage will be starting right here very soon. So let's get straight to it. I did something railroad related today. A friend from the Salt Lake City area is out in town. Jim, if you're from that area, you probably know Jim if you're into train stuff because he knows everybody. And so as part of Jim visiting, I invited him to come hang out at the SBHRS for the morning, and that's what we did. We looked at the layouts, he ran my train, looked at the business car, and also now we're up here in the tower. It's a nice thing to have visitors, and really nice to be able to show people this historic stuff, especially people who care about it. And this is Jim Wanless. Remember him from Salt Lake City?
Hi everyone. It's great to just hang out with other train friends, and it's great to be able to make relationships with other people. I can kind of go to a different state and I know people and be able to have fun and have them show me around and show me what they're interested in. It's always cool to have someone else who's interested in the same subject, such as historic trains and being able to run trains and just have fun.
Hi, I'm standing here in the rain at Niles Canyon because we're doing something today. This is opening day for steam at the Niles Canyon Railway. And my friend Jeff says, hey, you should come do a video about opening day for the steam at Niles Canyon. So they have the Clover Valley number 4 being steamed up behind me, as you can probably hear. And we're going to document opening day in the rain at Niles Canyon. All right, so this isn't the first cab I've been in, but sometimes you forget how hot it gets in these things. It is really hot. You probably see the sweat coming down my face.
There we go. It's a great day to be in the cab.
What?
It's a great day to be in the cab.
It's really hot in here, and it's really cold out there. So I'm standing out in the rain while Jeff oils the engine, and we were just discussing the sounds that a steam engine makes. And I've talked about this before at the channel many times about how that's one of the reasons I think it's important to have these things in preservation, because you can look at a cold engine all day in a park and you never really understand what it is until you experience what is behind me here. It's it's unusual. It's unique.
Definitely alive. You know when it's running.
Well, I have to admit that being in the cab of the locomotive was the ideal place to experience the harsh weather that we had this day. And surprisingly, at least to me, the train was pretty full, even though the weather was so horrible. It was cold and rainy, and tell you what, looking at Alameda Creek, which is normally kind of a trickle of a creek, overflowing with this raging flood, muddy waters, just really impressive. Anyway, we make it down to Niles, and we had a you never know who you'll run into moment.
This is someone named Timothy who came up and said, "Hey, you're John! You're John! I'm John! This is Timothy. Thanks for watching King's Train."
Oh, yeah, sure.
What are you doing today?
Catching the Clover Valley Lumber Co.
You mean you're chasing trains?
Chasing trains, yeah.
All right.
You understood what I mean.
We're just getting ready to depart. We've made our runaround maneuver. Depart, go back up to Sinol. So far, so good.
So this is really for the people who watch the podcast on YouTube. If you only listen on Podomatic or Apple Podcasts or one of those places, definitely check this out on YouTube because it's a slow motion video of the fire in the firebox taken with my phone looking through the firebox door. It's just one of the most dramatic, I think, shots I've ever taken with my phone. Okay, so we just came back to Sinol and finished recording what we were here to record. Have a lot of great footage for a video all about opening day on Niles Canyon. I'm looking forward to bringing that to you. One more thing I'm going to mention before we go is the weather is really not good today, but the train's pretty much sold out on this second ride. There are so many people waiting to get on the train, and it's still raining. So, rain or shine, it's a good ride. On March 15th, I went live with Michelle Kempema for our monthly Talking Trains show. We talked with Bernard Helen of Mini Prince and John Gardberg all about the Rocky Mountain Train Show that happens on the 1st and 2nd of this month. It's particularly relevant because Sydney and I are there as you're watching this to provide live coverage of that train show as it happens. Be sure to check the replay of the Talking Trains show, and also be sure to check in right here for our live coverage of the Rocky Mountain Train Show today and tomorrow. Hi, we did something today. I'm in a place close to Mariposa, California, and we're at a layout that is actually a 3-rail layout, but it's finished like a regular model railroad. And boy, we were up early this morning, 5 a.m. to get out here. But it's a nice day. It was a good drive, and we're recording a layout tour now that I'm really excited about bringing to the channel sometime soon. It's a little bit later, and we're sitting and hanging out with Glenn and Kathy here. And since I'm here talking and letting you know that the shoot went really well, Tom has a really cool layout that I think you're going to like to see. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, as I said earlier. But we're sitting here now with Glenn and Kathy, and since we're sitting here, I'm going to mention they stepped out of the room for a minute. And I wanted to mention thanks, Glenn, for helping out, helping get this stuff arranged, and for having us over. And Kathy, too. Thanks. Hi, we're doing something train-related today. I'm here with Trevor.
Hi.
And he's working on a garden-scale Climax locomotive that I've had sitting in my garage for quite some time. And we have a Soundtrax Bluenami decoder that we're going to put into this, and a battery and a speaker. And then hopefully I'll be able to run this at the Fern Creek and Western sometime later this year. So that's what we did today.
Yeah, gotta get ready to pull the switch back.
I have a personal catch of the month this time, and you've been seeing it in the background when I come on to talk. It's Clover Valley Lumber Company 2662T number 4 arriving at Sunol on the Niles Canyon Railway. This photo was taken on opening weekend this past month. If you have a catch of the month you'd like to share, please send it to podcast@tsgmultimedia.com. Be sure you own the shot and include the what's, whens, and wheres of the shots you send in. We have 2 monthly model catches to talk about. The first one comes from Sean Koga, who's working on his HO scale Santa Fe trains in Vista, California, installing LEDs and DCC decoders into Santa Fe FP45 number 107 and Santa Fe F45 number 5937. Looks cool, Sean. I especially like the lights under the sill. That's something that I want to try sometime. The next set of photos comes from Benjamin Harp, who recently acquired 3 Train Station Products HO scale ATSF high-level car kits from eBay. He's repainting them as Amtrak Phase 3 cars. All 3 models were roughly assembled and then painted before he began to add decals from Fusion Scale Graphics. Ben's also adding rubber diaphragms to the ends of these cars. He said he's planning to have all 3 cars finished before the SBHRS Spring Open House. Well, I guess the best way to find out if he actually finished this project is to go to the SBHRS Open House this weekend and see if they're running on the HO scale layout. I have a few more events to mention this month. First off, the Niles Canyon Railway's season has started, and you can ride trains on certain weekends there. They run diesel power on Saturdays and steam on Sundays. Check out ncry.org to check the schedule and get tickets. The Westside Reunion and Sierra Seminar events are happening in Sonora on the weekend of April 22nd and 23rd. If you can go, make sure you do, as the presentations are always top-notch. If you see us there, be sure to say hello. Then the PCR's annual convention, Rails by the River, happens in Sacramento starting on the 27th. And it's not just an in-person event. And get this, you don't even have to be a member of the NMRA to attend. We have a full virtual program that will happen live during that event, and the virtual attendees can attend from anywhere in the world. In addition to that, the clinics will also be available for a few weeks after the event, which means even if you can't join the fun live, you can still catch the excellent presentations on the replay using our top secret replay links. Check out the website listed in our description for information, because this is definitely something not to miss. This month's program schedule consists of a bunch of daily train catches, product spotlights, N-Scale Fridays, and of course, TSG Live Talking Trains on April 19th. The featured programs for Saturdays include a new layout tour, as well as full-length coverage of the Niles Canyon Railway's STEAM opening day. I've been updating the TSG train crew about these things and a lot more on the TSG Multimedia Patreon page as they happen. And did I mention, I'd love it if you could join us on the TSG train crew so you can be part of all the behind-the-scenes stuff that happens there. Not only does the TSG train crew get that behind-the-scenes stuff, but they also get special deals on models, TSG swag, and other stuff as well. Find out what you've been missing by going to patreon.com/TSG Multimedia today and help support the content you love for as little as $2 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee. It helps us keep the lights on around here, and we do everything we can to show our appreciation. So, that's it for now, and I'll see you next time.